Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video. Hey there, Rulers. DMO73 here, bringing you not one, not two, but three exclusive Alice Origins 3 spoiler cards that we get to bring to you first before anybody else. Hope you guys enjoy it. Huge opportunity to be able to bring this to you guys, and some really awesome cards that I want to talk about here. Without too much getting into the way, let's go ahead and jump right in with our first one here. This is an Arla support card, Angel of Healing. It is beautiful card art, and great to see Angels coming back. So we have this 3-cost quick cast flying angel, 2 white, 1 green, 3-cost 8/8, super solid body there for the cost. And then on enter, here's where it gets a little bit nuts to me. Enter, you gain 1,000 life, prevent the next damage that would be dealt to target resonator until end of turn, and then if this card entered your field from a deck, you draw 2 cards. So just by itself, this is a 3-cost quick cast 8/8 with flying that gains you a grand and can block anything or let something else block anything without having to take any damage, or if it was going to be taking damage from a burn spell or something, you can save it. That alone is awesome. And then also on top of that, it tacks on, if this card entered the field from a deck, draw 2 cards. Now the thing to note is that with this card, it's an angel, and Arla's Wings of the Archangel Regalia can produce will of green or white for angels. So technically, if you get the Regalia on 2, you could use Regalia plus 1 will to be able to play this card, which is nuts in terms of value. We haven't seen anything at this point that is like cheating for Arla 3 drops. We've seen 2 costs with that support spell that we've seen so far, but angels have had a way in the past, a lot of synergies with this idea of bringing other angels from the deck to the field. So this is kind of probably going to be a card that you're going to see a lot of use in angels, especially if they continue that theme. We'll just kind of have to wait and see if that is how it goes. All in all though, great card, super excited to dig into it. Next up, we have our Rezard support card. This is the End of Friendship, 1 black, 1 green, quick cast mage art. And as an additional cost to play this card, you have to banish a resonator, and then your opponent banishes 2 resonators. Now, one thing to note here in the flavor text here, we're seeing this new character, Sigurd, the Covenant King. Rezard, you are my last friend, but I will kill you. So clearly something going on here as Rezard kind of goes down his weird path. But anywho, Darkness has a really good way of getting effects when their creatures go to the graveyard, case in point Skeleton Horde or Layla, as you see here. So then you get this card that's potentially free if you have pseudo-free in regards to using the Regalia to pay for it, with cards that you have to banish your own guys, but usually banishing your own things gets you a benefit, and then you get to make your opponent banish 2 resonators. Now your opponent gets to choose, obviously it doesn't say target, but the benefit of that is it doesn't target, so this can get around things that have barrier, or if your opponent's trying to play a card where like maybe they're sacrificing 1 resonator of their own already, only have 2 left, you can say, oh well, you only have 2, so you have to banish both of them. So like you can really manipulate your opponent's board state there, which is I think really awesome. And because it doesn't target, it has to banish at the end of resolution, right? So it's not like your opponent can dodge having to lose those 2 resonators unless they just clear their own field themselves. So this is a really cool card. I can't wait to play around with it. I think it's definitely a pretty high power normal, and we'll have to see exactly what other kind of sacrifice effects that graveyard kind of stuff with Rezard might be getting to make even more benefit of this. And then our last card here is a bit of a confusing one. It is Spiral of Potential and Convergence. So Reflect, Refrain, kind of going back to their old taglines. Costs 1 red, 1 blue. It is a mage art. It is a quick cast. Now, let me break this down for you quickly. It says, if this card is the second card you play this turn, you can pay 1 red less. So if it's your second card, it costs 1 blue. If this card is the third card you play this turn, you may pay 1 blue less to play this card. So if it's your third card, it costs 1 red. And then if this is the fourth card you play this turn, you can pay red, blue less. So it's free if it's your fourth card. So if it's your second card, it's blue. If it's your third card, it's 1 red. If it's your fourth card, it's free. Otherwise, it's 2 cost with red and blue. Then it gets a little bit trickier. It says if you have Passion, this card gains look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put a card from among them into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Keep in mind, Passion is the reflect side, keying back to the old kind of reflect ruler's effect of like drawing one and then putting one from your deck on the bottom. So that's kind of cool to see it pinched over into a spell in a sense. And then if you have Calmness, which is the refrain side, this card gains the text of copy target chant spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it's important to note here that something already has to be on the chase for it to be able to target and can't copy it. So that's just important to note. And it also says it has to be something you control. So this is pretty cool if you're playing like a control deck with like cancel spells too. If you have a cancel spell on the chase, they try to cast something else, you could turn this spell into another cancel spell and redirect it cancel target to their second card, or you could duplicate it into a burn spell or a removal spell or a it has to be something that has, it says you may choose new targets, so if it's a draw spell, if it doesn't have any targets, you can still cast this card and be able to duplicate it. So just a lot of flexibility in terms of what this card can do. The thing that keeps coming to mind the first is the spell that we've already seen spoiled, the Scheherazade kind of themed spell that lets you get a stranger from your stranger deck at random into the field. The idea being if you can cast that and sequence the order correctly with what Reflect and Refrain can do to produce will, you could do like a duplication of that spell on turn 3. So suddenly on turn 3 or turn 4, you're putting 2 strangers into the field at random, which I think is really, really cool. And definitely gives some credence to, again, Reflect and Refrain is going to be this very kind of complex, complicated sequencing deck that you're going to need to really focus on which side you're on, front and back, on both sides, unless you have Scheherazade out, at which point you'll have both. But it is just something you really need to keep in mind and take care of. So yeah, these are the 3 spoilers. Again, super, super honored to be able to bring you guys this coverage. If you like what you've seen here, please go check out the links down below to be part of the Facebook Global Group, the Force of Will community page, as well as the main Facebook page for Force of Will itself. Give it a like and be able to tune in there for all the other spoilers, and hopefully talk to your LGS about being able to get product, or talk to one of the websites down below, specifically Odyssey Games, if you're interested in getting product that way. But until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed these cards and are just as hype about AO3 as we are here at Ruler School. And until then, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed.